Hi. Can everybody in the back hear me? Yeah. So, welcome. It's still a big crowd for me, so hi. Today I'm going to talk about Kunstmaan CMS bundles. Also, it's pronounced Kunstmaan. Quite a hard word for most of the people here. So, let's start. First, I'm Kim. I'm 30 years old, and I've been a developer for quite some time now. Since 14, I started 14. Mostly Symfony stuff, really, or the components. But yeah, still developing. I work for Kunstmaan. It's a communication agency in Belgium, Leuven, but recently also opened a branch in Malaga, so Spain. Also, we're hiring. Come see me if you're interested. We're about 70 people, but not all of them are technical people. But 21 are technical people, really. And we do a lot of stuff. Yeah, anything, really. Small websites, big projects. We recently had a project, took us more than a year and a half to finish it, so it's not a problem. But today, I'll be talking about the CMS bundles. So first I'll talk a bit more about our previous solution, where we came from. I'll show you a quick screen of some websites we built. Then I'll be talking about the bundles we made and what they do, what they're useful for, and also about what's next. So if there's something not clear on the screen or something, just raise your hand. So Kunstmaan, our company, we had an itch a couple of years ago. The previous solution we used to build everything, CMS solution, was called OpenMercury. Raise your hand if you ever heard of OpenMercury. One guy? From us? Yeah? Ah, perfect. So it's one guy, says all. It was a Java-based CMS, and it wasn't just in CMS, it did everything. It had a mailer module, a CRM module. You could have e-commerce solutions in it. It did everything. Versioning, ACLs, everything. We built it, Kunstmaan built it, and we did it all ourselves. So no libraries, or not much, anyway. And of course, we open sourced it. So you could go to GitHub. You could fetch a couple of 100 megabytes worth of jars, and you could do it. You could host it yourself. But nobody ever, maybe he did it, but nobody ever really used it. So end of 2011, a couple of years back, and it wasn't quite what we needed back then anymore. So we needed to find a new solution for our clients. A new solution as in it had to be fast, but easy to set up. Java is fast, very fast, but wasn't easy to set up. Takes a lot of work. It should also be easy to maintain. That was quite hard because it was massive, really, really huge. Also, like I said, we built it all ourselves. So we had a lot of code to maintain. Basically, every piece of code that somebody ever wrote, we had to maintain it. So very huge. Also, it was quite hard on requirements. The typical setup of an OpenMercury site was a quad-core server, 12 gigs of RAM. And yeah, 12 gigs of RAM most of the time wasn't enough. So it regularly went out of memory at night, of course at night. I don't know if any of you have to stand up at night, but it's not fun to restart Java. We didn't like it anymore. We needed something else. Now, end of 2011, you had quite a few options already. You had Ruby on Rails. Most of you know it. Node.js, okay. Java and PHP. Now, we started looking at Rails first, but at Kunstmaan, there was only one developer who really liked Ruby. So the others weren't fan at all. So we skipped that and do the Ruby stuff. Node.js, we did have a look at it, but 2011 it was very new, also very unstable. So it crashed, memory errors. So not an option either. And of course, we were all Java developers, and we start looking at that as well, and PHP. Well, I'm here, you know where this is going, so, but first I'll talk about the Java solutions. Now, Play framework. Anybody ever hear about that one? No? Yeah, see a couple of guys. It's great, it's awesome. If you like Java, really, you should check it out. It's very fast, it's also very lightweight. And it has a developer-friendly workflow. Now, we're all PHP developers, I think. So in our world, if we need something, we go to the source, we change it, save, we refresh our browser, and it's there. Now, the Java world, it's different. Java, normally, if you edit something, you save it, then you compile it, then you deploy it to your server, you restart your server, and then hopefully it's there when you refresh your browser. Otherwise, you have to start over again. Now, Play framework does that for you on the background. So you save, notices you change the file, compiles it, and you can refresh your browser, and it's there. Very nice. But I'm from Belgium. We have 3 official languages and English. So localization is quite a big deal. And Play framework didn't have any localization at all. Didn't have a lot of third-party modules either. So if we were to use that one, we had to redo the whole thing of build it ourselves all over again. It's not something that we were looking for. So we actually made one site using Play framework, multi-language, disaster. So skip. Next. PHP, like I said. Of course, 2011, you had 2 big options. You still have, kind of. You have Zen Framework, 1 at a time, and Symfony. Now, Zen Framework, I was a Zen Framework developer myself for a couple of years. Also, I do a lot of things. And I liked it. But at the time, it was already getting quite old. It lacked real innovation. I don't know if there's Zen Framework developers, 1 here, but the underscore, yeah, you have this long class names, and yeah, it wasn't something we would like to use. Now, Zen Framework 2 was also in alpha, but it was in alpha for 2 years. So when we started looking for a solution, it was almost a year in alpha version, and after we ended our after we found Symfony 2, it was still in alpha until 2012, September, looked it up. So it's quite a big alpha, and it was, yeah, useless for us. So it's only left Symfony 2. Also very, very new, couple of months old, 3, maybe 4. But yeah, it's great support. The FOS user bundle was already there. That was something we could use. Also, there were quite a few solutions already there. First of all, you had Symfony CMS. You all know it, probably. And you have the Sonata project. I think it's also well known. Now, Symfony CMS, 2011, you had to have a Jackrabbit server to store your documents. They skipped that now, but back then you had to install it. And it was extremely basic. The Jackrabbit server, we didn't like it because it was another Java server running in the background, and we wanted to skip that for a while. It was also extremely basic, so no versioning, no translations, nothing really. ACLs didn't have them in either. And also, OpenMercury wasn't perfect, but you could give it to a customer, give him a quick demo, an hour, and he could find his way around. So he knew where he had to change stuff and things like that. It was user-friendly. Symfony CMS wasn't user-friendly. We couldn't give it to our customers and expect them to change it all themselves. So that was, at the time, very, it was a deal breaker, actually. Sonata project, we looked at that as well, but it's mainly a CRUD solution. So it lets you build CRUD interfaces very fast, but also backend not very user-friendly. Now, we looked for 2-3 months for solutions. Didn't find any that we liked, but we did find a lot of things that we do like, that we wanted to have in a CMS. I don't know if it's clear for everybody. Well, it has to be flexible. It should be able to do everything. Also, working out of the box was a big plus. No exotic setups, no 12 gigs of RAM, stuff like that. Multi-language, of course, Belgium. Versioning, because our customers love that. Often they changed something on a page, then hit save, went to see. It was awful, so they reverted back. So they really wanted that. Proven technology also, so no unstable Node.js back then. And it had to look good. Very, very strong argument. So we started something new, the bundles. It's actually a 3-tier solution. On the basis, it's Symfony Standard Edition, so what we all know. Then we add as much community bundles as possible. We don't like to write our own code, so if we can, we're reusing the open source and also contributing, of course. But we use a lot of bundles, KNP, Pager Fanta was user bundle, and also CMF routing. We started looking at building our own routing solution, but we found CMF routing and it was perfect. So we started using that as well. And on top of that all, we build our own bundles with an interface. So mostly it's just a nice way to edit your content. Now, some examples. We made a lot of sites in those 3 years. As you can see on the top right, it's a financial institution for trading. It looks very different from the top left, for example. It's a TV station. They have all different needs and requirements. And it's quite flexible, the bundles we built, and we can do it all. So it's not a big problem. But that's what we built. But a lot of people, except us, other than us, are using it as well. So those are the countries that we know of where developers are using our bundles as well. So it's only that we know of. So of course there will be other countries. But as you can see, it's quite big. We have 4 continents now. Barely sometimes, but still 4 continents. Antarctica is not one of them, so world domination is not yet an option for us, fortunately. But still, we're getting a lot of traction lately. Now, let's talk about something also very important. The bundles and their functions and also requirements. Now, requirements are simple. We at Kunstmaan, we use only Linux servers and OS X desktops or laptops. We don't have any Windows computer at all, except for a couple EA test laptops. So we never tried it on Windows. But a contributor did try it, found some issues, sent us a pull request. And at the time, it was one of the first pull requests we ever received, and it was great. You know, OpenMercury, does it work? I don't know. No, it doesn't. Okay, fix it. We didn't have to fix anything. Somebody else fixed it, sent us a pull request, and it works. It's awesome. Rest of the requirements are very basic. Of course, LAMP stack or something. Composer, Symfony, very basic. We do also use Node.js and NPM, but mainly for front-end stuff, no back-end requirements. But our front-enders love it that way. They don't use the aesthetic built-in functions, but it's not a hard requirement. If you want to change the front-end without it, it's possible. Now, let's talk about the real bundles itself. I'll give you a quick overview of our most important bundles. If you go and see at our GitHub repository, there will be some missing here, but those are the main ones. So the admin bundle, that's the start of it all. So it's also the point where the user can log into the backend. So it's the basic bundle, actually. We also integrate Google Analytics with the dashboard bundle. Now, a lot of our customers, they're not that tech savvy. So Google Analytics, it scares them a bit. But they still want to see how many people are coming at their site, ordering stuff, goals, and stuff like that. So we added the dashboard bundle. And yeah, now they can just log in to the backend, and immediately they see, I had 300 visitors yesterday, quite nice, things like that. It's a bit unclear on the screenshot, but it has tabs. So you can see today, last 7 days, month, things like that. And our customers really like it. Of course, websites, pages, very important feature of website. We call them nodes. And it's the node bundle that supplies these nodes. When you click on the pages on the top left, you get an overview. At the left, you have a tree. It's the structure of your website, so the subpages and things like that. And on the right, you have an admin list. I'll skip to that one in a minute. But there you can filter already. And the pages the user edited last will be on top of the list. So it's nice to see if somebody changed the page, you can always go back. Now, editing a page, it's the page part bundle who does that. Now, the page parts are quite useful, actually. You have to look at them as a Lego. You have a header page part, you have a text page part, an image page part, and you can just add them to your page, reorder them, drag them, drop them. It's really nice. So you have all the freedom you want on the page. We have ACLs built in for permissions. So as I said, some of our customers require strict permissions. We have a bank, so they have to be able to limit access to a page in the backend. Versioning, like I said, so you can change anything on the page, hit save, revert anytime. You can go back to a change from January, it's no problem. And it's pretty clean. This is something that we wanted to offer to our customers. Also, you can use it as well. It's not only your customers. Of course, you have also page metadata. SEO bundle does that for us. So you have the regular metadata, SEO metadata, description, titles, stuff like that. But we also have a couple of fields for the social integration, the Facebook OJ tags, things like that. You can also edit it. Very nice. Now, one of the big features from our bundle is the media library. It's actually a media bundle, but you have to look at it as a library. So it's a way to organize all your media assets. Media assets can be images, videos, slides, and files, downloads. So one of the really nice things about the media bundle is that, I know we're all developers here. You have a website, 15 pages, the header image, it's perfect. But still, 2 months later, it all has to be changed. It's in the CMS, so Most of you guys have to change it 15 places. But thanks to the media library, we only have to change it in one place, and it's automatically updated on all page parts of all pages that use it. So it saves us quite some time. Next, as I said, admin lists. This is something that we used from, well, we had a look at Sonata, how they do it. So it's the admin list bundle. It's really a CRUD solution. So you give it an entity, add some fields. You say those fields can be filtered on, and it does the rest itself. So it's very nice for your stores or locations or people in your organization. Put them in an admin list. Of course, this is one of the front-end, kind of front-end bundles, the search bundle. The rest of the front-end, you can do whatever you want. So there's no bundle for the front-end. This is the only one that integrates a bit. It's a search bundle. It will automatically index all your nodes. So if you edit a page, save it, it will be indexed in Elasticsearch. So there's Java again, but yeah, it's okay. And it also offers facets. I don't know if you can see it, but probably not. You can define page types. You can add as many as you want, and then you can enable the facets. So if, for example, you have a blog page, you can have a facet blog, so people can find a way. Now, I'm a developer, and I'm lazy. So we built some special developer bundles as well. It all starts with a live reload bundle for the front-end guys with us. They were unhappy with their current solution. I don't remember the tool they used, but it could also refresh the website when they saved something, CSS. But if they had another tab open, it would refresh the wrong thing and stuff like that. So the live reload bundle will do that for you. You save it, you save your CSS, you save your JavaScript. It will automatically reload the page. Also the Behat bundle, we like to have Behat tests. I think most of you will know Behat. No? Do you have to explain it? No? Okay. Behat bundle is a collection of some methods to help us test it. And last, the generator bundle. How many of you use generators in your code? Remember, Symfony has built-in generators? Use them a lot? Sometimes. You're not a big fan?
Good for starters.
Okay. But still, generators, we love them. We're not a starter anymore, but still we love them. Because we hate doing the same thing all over again. So you have a couple of Symfony generators built in. I think it's entity, there's a couple of them. But it's not enough for us. So we try to optimize our workflow. Because if you're building a website, you have a lot of pages and page types. For example, a blog page, it needs a date, publishing date, it needs an author, things like that. It's different from, for example, a content page, just rich text editor. So we try to use as much different page types as possible. This helps us a lot because it's also very flexible. Some of you probably remember the old days when I was 14 or 15, when you needed a new type of function that looked like the other one. You just copy, paste it, and you had to find and replace, but you forgot a variable somewhere and it couldn't work, and you spent 2 hours looking for the thing. Generators don't do that. They don't make errors, unless you program them wrong, but they work. But still, if you have to change something, it's possible. That's why we like generators. We use them to generate the pages and the page parts, because they use it a lot. And a page part and a page, well, in our CMS, they're just entities, so database entities. So it's also pretty easy to just generate them. It's no problem. And because it's so easy, you can generate quite a lot of special things as well. So, for example, a customer, sometimes they want 2 fields like this and a date, and on another place they want 1 field and a date. It's easier for them if they only have on the second place the 1 field. So it's easier for them to input content and stuff like that. Now, of course, we also generate admin lists. Like I said earlier, it's perfect for most websites. I think most of our sites have at least 1 admin list. The generator bundle, you can generate an admin list. It will create an entity also for you. It also creates the admin list itself. It's a couple of classes. And it also will know if you want to, for example, you won't be able to filter on the ID field, but you will, for example, be able to filter on the title, things like that. So it generates this all for you. It's very nice. Now, like I said, we like Behat. So we decided to also be able to generate Behat tests for the backend automatically. So if you generate a page part, for example, it will create Behat tests that allow you to run them. They will log in, okay, go to a page, add a page part, change the page part, reorder the page part, delete the page part, things like that. So if you do something exotic with the page parts and sometimes they break, you have Behat tests, you will know. So pages and page parts, Behat tests, also in the admin. Now, I think last year we coded all this, and then, well, we use it for a couple of months, and it's always the same thing. It's always iterations. So after a couple of months, we started thinking, okay, now we're generating a page. Now we want a blog, for example. You have to generate an overview page with a list of blogs. But then you also have to generate a detail page, because a blog page is different from an overview page, and things like that. It was always the same. So we improved. We added more generators. Yay. Sorry for you. But we added the basic website generator. So it's 1 command, and it generates you a very basic website with a couple of pages. So at least you have a look. You can have a look at how it's structured and log in and stuff like that. But it also is an article generator. So for example, the blog, you fire up the generator, it asks for a name, so you blog. It automatically creates a blog overview page, detail page, but also in the backend, it will add a menu entry to the admin list, where you can also edit all the things. So yeah, we use it almost anytime we made a website, we're using that. So I think you should maybe reconsider. It all depends on what you're doing. So this is a talk about the CMS, and CMS world, you do a lot of things like this. If you're doing other integrations or APIs or something, this won't be useful, of course, but still. Now, I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. And there's also the what's next. We have been doing a lot of work already, but we try to keep an eye on the future. And these are the things that we're looking forward to doing in the near future. So the community is important. Like I said, the first pull request we received was great, awesome. So we like to keep that going. We also offer our email address on our page. So we have quite a few developers who are really stuck, they can just mail us. So we receive a lot of mails from guys who are having a strange error. I think it's Estonian. Today I got an email from an Estonian guy who had a problem with the search bundle because the Lexer, things like that, it was awful for him. So we received an email, we're talking with him about solving it. We try to do that even more. Now, speed. In the beginning of this year, we had a large, almost a rewrite of the whole menu structure of the website to speed things up, because menus create a lot of queries. It's better now, but still, also the Blackfire will be very helpful for future tests. Tests, of course, you cannot have enough tests for everything. So we're trying to keep up with it and add tests for new features, existing features, update tests to be more thoroughly and stuff like that. Now, as you probably heard in the keynote, documentation. It's something most developers, I don't know about you guys, but most of them don't like writing documentation. Sometimes it's needed. Of course, documentation of a Symfony framework is totally different from the thing we're doing here now. But still, we're trying to increase our documentation. This year, we did already quite some work. I think we have 5 or 6 different items now about how setting up a basic website, installing it, generating your first pages, adapting pages, how things work like that. But we're constantly working to improve that. And also, yeah, contributions. We have been getting a lot of pull requests lately. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time. Well, the two cancel out each other, of course. But still, it's a hard. We have a lot of work, and it's hard to have a thorough look at each pull request. So in our company, we have a couple of guys responsible for CMS, and one of them is get some time now to have really thorough looks at each pull request. Now, also, the contributors, they come from different places. Some of them are just developers like you, but also Leap. Most of you have heard of it, one of the biggest companies in Germany or Switzerland, are trying to improve the bundles and decouple the bundles we made to be able to reuse them in CMF, Symfony CMF. Because the bundles, how they are now, are very tightly coupled. So it's possible to leave them aside. For example, if you have a website and you're not interested in search at all, it's no problem. Leave search out of it. But you cannot have the search bundle and use it in CMF, for example. That's something we are trying to solve. It's quite hard, of course, to break the ties, but we are looking at doing that, because then, yeah, we get a lot of questions about our media bundle as well. Hey, it's a really nice bundle, can I use it? But right now, it's a bit too tightly coupled with everything. So we're looking at breaking the ties to our CMS. Now, that's it. It probably doesn't look like that much work we did in 3 years. That's not true. It's quite a lot of work, actually. We're a small team as well. But we're looking forward to increasing the potential of our CMS to other developers as well. So if you have any questions, you can ask them. We also, on our website, just Google Kunstmaan CMS, first hit. We have a guide on how to install it, things like that. And yeah, like I said, we are hiring Symfony developers. We're short of a few. So if you are interested, come see me. Any questions? No questions?
What about the templating? Does it use Twig or
yeah.
how does it work?
Everybody, the question was about templating. We use Twig for templating. We have, well, it's very modular, our setup. So if you have, for example, a page part, you can define a template to use in the front end and a template to use in the back end. In the backend, the basis is of course the admin the types, the form types, but you can, if you want something different, you can change it. Also, the pages are totally customizable. We have a few Twig methods, functions that we implemented. For example, the menu, quite easy, but it's just Twig. You're free. I don't think you will have a good time if you change the templating engine to PHP, for example, but in theory, it's possible. Okay? Another question?
How is the admin list from the Sonata?
The Sonata, at first, Sonata was more of a generator, I think. It was pretty basic. And we are looking, well, we are always looking further, of course, but Sonata is very advanced. I don't have to tell you that. They offer a lot of the ways to customize everything. In our admin lists, it's different. You can customize them as well, but they're more basic. But as I said, they're more tightly coupled with the rest of the bundles. So as you saw in the admin bundle, in the page node bundle, there was an admin list there. So that's something you cannot just take Sonata. At the time, of course, 2011, it's been a while, you cannot just take Sonata and place it there, for example. But yeah, we looked at Sonata and we liked it because it's great, Sonata, but we couldn't use it how we wanted to. Any other question? No? Okay. Well, thank you for attending. And have a great Symfony conference. Thank you.